Good day, everyone, and welcome to the healthcare portion of this brief. Healthcare in the United States is a complex situation and sometimes can seem overwhelming for people to navigate. This brief is not going to give you all of the answers, but instead point you to some of the information and the fact that there's a team of members here at the embassy that is to support you in navigating this change in your healthcare systems. What we hope to do with this is point you to where you can find direct information for yourself and your family members, as well as walk you through the initial steps that you'll need once you're on the ground in the US for the vast majority of you who are here under Department of Defense postings. Note that healthcare can change depending on your posting type or geographical location or insurances that are available to you. So this may not fully apply to you, and if you have individual questions, we do say reach out to us at any time. Here I want to introduce the team that is supporting healthcare across OutCan, United States. Commander Ian Beck is the Canadian Forces Health Services Attaché, and he is the main individual who works on strategic engagements with the Department of Defense to enable both interoperability of training, but also key access contracts with Defense Health Agency. The Canadian Forces Medical Liaison Officer is Major Jaron Martin. He is the main point of contact for any clinical questions related to CAF members and can provide some guidance related to family members as well. Captain Andrew McNeil is the current Staff Officer of Health Administration. His area of expertise is coordination of benefits, insurance coverages, and how those processes all work together. Master Corporal Kevin Ramkishore is the healthcare coordinator, and he really is the main point of contact for any questions you may have. He's a wealth of knowledge in both clinical access, insurance, and he can point the question to anyone on the team if he needs more information. And then Ms. Natalia Pella is our Med Records coordinator for CAF members who are required to either get something from their medical record to provide to their U.S. counterparts or to submit things to put into CFHIS. The main point of this slide, though, is that there is a website that contains a lot of information, including our points of contact, that is accessed by any network and has information for not only members but families. I do recommend that all people go to that website and read the Healthcare in the U.S. Handbook. It is in the process of being updated, but it still does contain the best information. And there's also dependent scenarios and information for CAF members there. When you have individual questions, that is a great point to start, but we do say, hey, reach out to us and we will get back to you with any answers. Here I want to transition to cover the vast majority of members across the United States who are here under Department of Defense invitation. These members and their dependents are going to be receiving health care under TRICARE. Now, TRICARE is the primary insurance of the U.S. military healthcare system. Akin to, for military members, would be our Blue Cross. This is your primary means of access and coverage to care while you are in the United States. In order to access care, though, there are steps that need to be taken, and we have figured out that these steps, if followed the right way over time, do reduce issues with denied billing or denied appointments in this system. Note that we are sort of like guests in the U.S. healthcare system, and as such, not everyone you talk to will be used to dealing with foreign military. So I do always ask that people be patient, and if you continue to follow these steps and engage our team, we will be able to help you navigate these situations. Before you even come down to the US, realize that this is going to take time. So please make sure you have at least 3 months of your required medications or as much as feasible. So the first step, once you are on ground and you're gaining access as part of your in-clearance, is to register with DEERS. DEERS is a system that confirms your eligibility to be on base, as well as any entitled benefits that you have while you're posted to the United States. When you present to DEERS, the key point here is that you are to indicate that you are NATO forces with a direct care status. If they aren't sure about what that means, you can also include that you should be registered under registration code HCDP011 for active duty and 012 for dependents. Note here that if you are a service couple and your spouse is coming down as leave without pay or on a service spousal employment program, they are considered dependents to the DoD and should register under a 012 code. Your card, when it is issued, whether it be the Next Gen ID or Common Access card, may say foreign military, but it should say eligible for direct care status. That is how you'll know that you were registered correctly in DEERS. Once you complete your DEERS registration, your next stop is to register with the local military treatment facility to register with the patient admin cell as a patient. When we are in the US, we do not get assigned a primary care doctor, but we get assigned to a primary clinic. So this is the step that will get you registered at that facility to receive care. While you're at that facility, the last step is to visit the TRICARE operations individuals, and they will brief you and give you usually handouts on how to access care while you're there. They will also verify your entitled benefits for healthcare. Note that the primary insurance is best received through direct care at a military treatment facility, or MTF. All entitled CAF members will seek all medical and dental care through the military treatment facility if available. Note that given your insurance, your family members may access off-base resources without a referral, but we always recommend to utilize the military treatment facility as your primary care and referral center to avoid any necessary headaches with TRICARE. If at any time, though, it is an emergency, get care. You get care, and if you have not been registered yet, contact my team, and we will make sure that we have everything covered. Note that your benefits with TRICARE will backdate to the date of your change of strength. So even if you don't have benefits through TRICARE and you end up needing emergency health care, this can still be claimed to TRICARE after the fact. For members of the CAF, they may utilize civilian resources outside of the military treatment facility only with an approved TRICARE referral or with pre-authorization from the Canadian Forces Medical Liaison Officer. Lastly, as I said, we ask all people to come down without the need to access care immediately. It takes time to set all this up, and that is very dependent upon geographical location. If, however, there is a need to access care, contact the medical team here in Washington. We will consider on a case-by-case basis if we can help you gain access to a military treatment facility ahead of registration. However, this process is very administratively heavy and can cause issues with benefits in the future. So it should be used only if there's a true medical need. So as I said, please try and come down with at least 3 months worth of your medications, or as much as feasible. If you foresee a reason why you may need care within your first 4 to 6 weeks on the ground, please contact our office so we can try and help this ahead of time. Now we want to pass on some key points about the Public Service Healthcare Plan that is administered by MSH International for our family members while they're in the US. If you are going to be covered by TRICARE, MSH International is considered secondary insurance. However, we do not tell the Americans that you have secondary insurance by MSH International. It is not recognized as a secondary insurer. These claims are all going to be processed directly with MSH International as they have no direct billing option. And it is important that before you come down, you review the benefits of comprehensive coverage under the Public Service Healthcare Plan. The key thing here is to realize that for most things, if you are going through the military treatment facility, TRICARE is going to cover it. But if you do end up with copays and cost shares, these are all claimable by MSH International. If you are coming down and you won't have access to TRICARE, MSH International is going to be your primary means of claiming any healthcare costs related to your family members. This will involve paying up front and then claiming for reimbursement after the fact. I will touch briefly on in a minute things like advances and how to get assistance with claims. The key thing here is let the CWS Washington Orderly Room action your supplemental to comprehensive coverage switch after arrival. If your losing unit OR attempts to do this, it often leads to delays in the process. Note that coverage for these plans will be backdated to the date you cross the border. So if you do end up having to access care after you cross the border, you are covered in the likelihood of an emergency or even having to go to an urgent care or a walk-in clinic. You just have to hold on to the bills and then you can claim them once your coverage is switched. Once the orderly room submits the form for comprehensive coverage, you will receive an email saying that your coverage has been switched, and at that time it's important to log on to your Canada Life profile and confirm that that's true, and then complete a registration with MSH International. Once you've completed the registration with MSH International, you'll submit your claims through the portal on their website. All of the information related to the websites and is found on our website as well. Note that this can take some time, but if you are receiving delays greater than 6 weeks, we do ask you to reach out so we can look into it and see where things are at. For dental, all dental care is going to be on the economy. You will have no access to dental through the military treatment facilities. So be prepared that dental in the US can be more expensive, so it's important to shop around and get quotes. All of this will be claimed directly to the Public Service Dental Care Plan through the Canada Life profile, not through MSH International. As always, when you have questions with dental or medical claims, you can get in touch with our team and we will help you with what can be claimed and where to claim it. Lastly, in terms of claims, there are additional claims that can be made under the Foreign Services Directives due to the cost of healthcare in the United States. If you submit a claim through MSH International, on your explanation of benefits, you may see something at the bottom that indicates an uncovered amount known as an R70 code. If you see that, then you can submit those claims directly to CWS Washington Medical Admin, and we will process those claims and help you get those funds back. The same is true that if you undertake dental care, and you may receive a letter from the Public Service Dental Care Plan indicating that there was excess dental costs that were not covered. If you receive that letter, that amount can be claimed through the orderly room as well. Lastly is that if you are required to get immunizations for school, the MSH International only covers 80% of costs for those immunizations. The additional 20% of mandatory immunizations for work or school can be claimed through us. There are additional claims and coverages that may apply to you during your stay in the US, but we will brief those once you're on the ground during orientation. Note that there is sometimes delays and issues with MSH International. The key is to be patient and try and resolve it directly with them as much as possible. But if you are ever encountering troubles, please let us know. Note that healthcare in the US is expensive. So if you are requiring to pay a medical bill, please reach out to us to arrange in advance and we will advance anything over $400 for medical expenses. Once the advance is there, we will work with you to make sure that you can get that advance repaid once MSH International processes your claim. The last slide takes us full circle back to the fact that we have an excellent website that hosts all of this information. It is a great spot to look to start if you have individual questions about healthcare upon your arrival in the US. I also bring us back to here because please do reach out to primarily Master Corporal Ramkishore, Captain Andrew McNeil, or Major Jaron Martin if you have any questions about healthcare. The best initial point of contact is Master Corporal Ramkishore. As I said before, his wealth of knowledge is awesome. Note that we also have a CDLS Washington Medical Admin Plus box that is monitored by the team, so you can always send your questions in there as well. Hopefully this brief overview will help you understand the initial steps upon your arrival in the US. Healthcare down here is not simple, so please arrive prepared with any needed medications from Canada while this all gets sorted out. The team here at Canadian Forces Health Services Det Washington is ready to assist you if you have any issues or problems along the way. Thanks and welcome to the US.